Welcome back to the Talko podcast. My name is Igor,
And I'm Joe.
and today we're going to be talking about music.
Yep.
Um,
Music. So we are connoisseurs of music, aren't we, Igor?
Definitely not just like some shitty, terrible
Yeah. We're
band
not. We're not
members.
basic white girls whenever they hear "Do I Want to Know," just freak the fuck out. That's not us.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
cultured
actually,
people.
I am that white girl for sure.
you,
If I'm being
you are that
honest.
white girl, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think we should start when we talk about music. We should start about where it all began, Igor.
Where did it all
Where
begin, Joe?
where did
I have no
music
idea.
where did music
Other
begin?
than like tribal music.
So yeah, originally you can just assume some sort of like Aboriginals maybe, or because like when I think about like tribal music, because like tribal music was the beginning of like because they just like basic drum beats like a budum or well not that more or
Ooga
less,
booga, chooga booga. Yeah, shit
well
like
more like
that.
a bum 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 ba bum 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 for like rain dances and shit like that. That's
Do you
what.
remember when those fish in
Yeah,
Nemo did the ooga booga chooga?
is
Or am I
that
alone here?
I have no clue what that is. I haven't seen
No?
Nemo in
Oh.
so long. Fuck, we're
You
getting this.
haven't seen Nemo in so long? It's a classic. You have to rewatch it.
Yeah, well, it's not music, is it? You fuck boy.
It's some good music. You're doubting it.
Is it now?
Yeah.
So it all stems from that, and when I think tribal music, I think about like Aboriginals and their massive didgeridoos. Like
Yeah.
didgeridoos are fucking cool.
I want to try a
You
didgeridoo.
want to try a didgeridoo?
Like like music classrooms always have like loads of fucking instruments that you've never heard of before, but they never
Yeah.
have a didgeridoo.
Never have a
It needs
didgeridoo.
to be more culturally
There was
diverse and get some didgeridoos.
7 glockenspiels in the classroom.
Glockenspiels.
In
That's a good band name, actually.
the
Wait.
glockenspiels. That's a good band name. Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Yeah.
Um, it's almost good as Gegenschein.
Yeah. Shine, but sure.
Gegenschein, yeah. So yeah, that's music origins for you, isn't it? See,
Shall we talk?
I think
So,
I think music origins is a lot more than just how it is. Though. I think the origins of music is like so much more like where did general like when did we start singing in music and when did we start deciding to and of course as we just discussed with the Ooga Boogas, chanting must have been rhythmic chanting must have been a very loud part of
yeah.
singing in music.
But it all started like with putting some hide over like a wooden block, and it'd be like a drum, and it's just
Yeah,
boom, 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 and shit like that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then they'd be like, how like there's like the Mongolian deep throat singing.
Yeah.
They go,
Yeah, that, yeah,
yeah, that probably was like that's like some ancient
yeah.
culture that they had.
Oh, I do like the sound of Somali and deep throat.
I'm personally not into that shit, but if
Me
you're into it,
personally.
that's fine.
Yeah, I do like some deep throat.
We know you do.
We know
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone knows I like some deep throat. Anyway, fucking god. Right. So basically, I was thinking about the Beatles of recent. Now
Hmm.
we have a friend who is obsessed with the Beatles, and he strongly believes that the Beatles sort of innovated and made rock and roll what it is. And there were like people like Elvis and shit like that. He did a lot of like rock and roll stuff, and like
But the Beatles, they had a fucking huge range of the type of music
they
they
were a
made,
massive
to be
innovator,
honest.
is
Hmm.
what I find the friend saying.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's completely true that everyone just took inspiration from the Beatles to this day, just still following
So yeah,
what they made.
in the film Yesterday, I think that's what it is, isn't it?
Hmm.
Uh,
I don't know. I never saw it actually.
I think a guy gets knocked out. A massive Beatles fan gets knocked out, and then he wakes up in a world where the Beatles don't exist. I think it's
Uh-huh.
called Yesterday, and in that he realizes the Beatles don't exist, and then he goes and Googles a bunch of other bands. He goes Oasis. Oh my god, they don't exist, and then he Googles a bunch of other things. But then
Yeah.
complete nutters like Ed Sheeran still exist.
Yeah, I think modern music is no longer influenced by the Beatles.
No, I
There's some.
totally that's the case.
Mm.
But I was curious, would Oasis still exist if the Beatles didn't exist.
No.
I
Oasis are just a massive rip-off of the Beatles. They're not a rip-off. They made good music. I used to fucking love them, but
I
they wouldn't
think,
have
yeah, but
existed without the
I think
Beatles.
the style that Liam Gallagher has is so far fetched and different compared to um, the Beatles. And overall, you wouldn't listen to those two bands and think, yeah, Oasis is definitely inspired by the Beatles. You wouldn't think that at all.
Yeah, you would. That's what I thought.
Really?
Yeah,
God, you have
I listened
shocked
like
me.
I remember when I started listening to Oasis like properly. Like I really got into them and kind of like started talking to Archie about the Beatles because he
Mm.
started like talking to me about the Beatles and since he really liked them, and I instantly just like I listened to a bit of their music and I'm like they're so similar. I don't see how you
That's...
didn't notice
No,
similarities.
I did. I really didn't because I think uh, Liam Gallagher's singing is so different to anything like that. It just it makes out knocks it out of the park.
Mm.
And like they,
I don't. It's the
mm,
singing, I guess,
I
that
I
kind of.
that's really strange that you think that they do sound similar.
Well, yeah, I
I
fucking took
I really
so much
think
inspiration from them
because
as a fact as
there were
well.
other bands like Blur. I think they were. And I know you don't like Blur.
Inspired by the Beatles.
Blur were a Beatles cover band and before they were a proper band.
Oh, really?
Um,
Shit, I don't see the
no,
similarities
I
between
don't see
Blur and
the
the Beatles.
similarities between them because Blur is some sort of like comedic singing about English history and being
Yeah,
British.
I don't know. Blur, not my cup of tea.
I mean, we all know that you're the guy who says Oasis is better than Blur.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Oh
Blur's
fuck
not
you! No,
that
no,
good.
they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
not.
Oasis is better than Blur.
Oh,
Yes. I
yeah.
don't
I
like
can see
Oasis anymore, but I never liked Blur.
the white girl is resonating from
Mhm.
you. Oh
Well,
my
you see, I
gosh,
used
I
to
love
love
Wonderwall.
Oasis.
It's my favorite. I love
Oh fuck,
Wonderwall.
Wonderwall. I remember loving it for so long, and then not understanding like how you could stop liking Wonderwall because that's what you told me, and I'm like, and eventually I'm just like, this is the most annoying song after listening to it so many times. I thought it was a
Today I'll go on
masterpiece.
OnlyFans and I'll go and sell my
Yeah,
nudes.
and then I got sick of the singing, and I couldn't
It's
listen
the
to
white.
Oasis anymore.
It's it on. I went to a party, and
Mm.
it was like a drama kids party, and the last song they put on was this fucking Oasis Wonderwall, and everyone's sticking their hands in the air, going, "So maybe you got me to what fucking
Yeah,
oh."
that's yeah. Well, it's a well-known song. Everyone knows it,
Everyone
and
fucking
like
knows it, and then when you
you'd sing
hear it,
along to it.
yeah, you know
You can't blame them.
oh, I know, but like, oh my god, man,
I do
those.
hate the "So Maybe" bit because that's some horrible singing.
I don't
The
think it's
thing
that
is, the
bad.
reason why I really don't like it. Well, after listening to it so many times as a fan of Oasis, I used to love them. I
Yeah.
listened to it so many times to the point I'm sick of that song.
Okay.
And
Well,
the only band that okay, no, not that. Okay, that's an
that saved you
exaggeration.
from
But
your
the band that I
Oasis
really
sickness wasn't
no,
that.
no, no, no. Listen, the band that I think has way worse singing than Oasis, that are like one of the only bands that I can think of that has way worse singing than Oasis is Blur. That's probably why I like them a lot less.
Damn, you really don't like the voice of Damon Albarn.
No, no, singing is
So,
really
what do you
important in
think
my
about
songs.
musicians moving on from original projects like bands and then going on to starting a new band, like Damon Albarn did with Blur to the Gorillas?
It sucks
Yeah,
because like loads of people liked. Oh, what was that band? The one Eminem was in. Do you know it?
no, sorry, I don't know.
And he basically got super popular and just left it and started making his own music. And people who really liked that previous band were really upset, you know, that he just left, and the rest of the band just kind of like dissipated. They had nothing to do. Like he was the like main thing, and
Yeah,
he just became
he was the
yeah,
personality, wasn't he?
kind of yeah, and that's kind of what made him so popular. And then he
Mm.
just left and became Eminem.
Yeah.
And like I prefer just like No, I don't know. Like
Mm.
you can always just have two bands at the same time, like Alex Turner or Julian Casablancas. They both have two different bands,
Yeah, but
and you don't have to leave one.
you start to worry that whether their best work really goes into the original band though, because
Well, the reason you'd start a new band is if you have like complete taste change where you want to like start making some completely new music. But if you're gonna do that, just form another band and stay in the other one, and just start making that music in another band, or just release a new album with the current band with your new tastes, like
yeah, well, see,
Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino.
when it comes to Alex Turner,
Yeah,
I've listened to a bit of the was it the last Shadow Puppets?
yeah, don't really
Um,
like them.
yeah, they just sound the same as the Arctic Monkeys.
Sometimes I think he just formed that band because the other guy in the band that he really like, this is like his best friend. They just like they're just really good friends, and I feel like that's the only reason they formed that band.
Yeah, that
But I don't know.
probably is the
Some people
case.
like them.
I
They'd
was
never live up to the Arctic Monkeys, though.
no, they won't. No, no one's better than the Arctic Monkeys, are they, Igor?
No,
No
the
one's better than them.
Strokes are getting there, but they have
Strokes are getting there, aren't they?
like Is This It and Hard to Explain are their two best songs.
So we've sort of
Oh,
come on to our next sort of theme, which is how people interpret music.
yeah,
And so, Strokes is a band that we're both very fond of.
of
Um,
course.
and so, frankly, I love the Strokes. I think their best song is Machu Picchu,
Isn't that it's not their best song?
because it has an
Oh
insane,
no.
like, very brilliant riff. And and then of course, Igor goes, no, it's not their best. It's just too out of place. It sounds so strange.
No, no, I never said it's bad. It's
Yeah, you
definitely
haven't
not
said
their best though.
no. Yeah, I mean,
Like, Is This It and Hard to Explain best.
yeah,
Second, okay, it's they've got different themes. Like, the New Abnormal had like some of the songs in it are like in a similar theme, but like that's why I'm finding them hard to compare to their other songs. They definitely you can clearly tell they came from the same artist, but they're
yeah,
just not. I don't find them comparable to like there's the Set album or Room on Fire. Whereas this the Set and Room on Fire are completely comparable. They're basically the same thing.
yeah. See now, I get what you're saying. About that because yeah, they sound so similar
Yeah,
because the
it's like
voice it's the way that it's sung, and also like this sort of like monotonous, similar bass lines that they use.
yeah, they were released not that far apart, like in time
Mm.
wise. Um, whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. And Favorite Worst Nightmare were released 1 year apart, and they're super similar. Like some people can't tell the difference between them. Like even I sometimes struggle, and I
Yeah,
know
I
like the
think
Arctic
those are
Monkeys
very
albums off by heart.
extremely similar
I feel like
things.
a lot of like I feel like a lot of artists' first two albums are really similar, and that's because like that's when they started off, and their inspiration was huge, and they just kind of like
Mm.
churned out new music of the
Yeah.
same taste. And that's like, oh, we found this new amazing like style that they just thought of, and they're just gonna like make new shit and new shit and new
Hmm.
shit, and it's great. And
Yeah,
then
no,
they
that
start moving on
sounds
to
great.
things.
Yeah.
We had this discussion not too long ago, didn't we? It's the fact that the later on albums of most bands are not as good because they kind of start innovating more, or whatever.
Yeah,
What did we say?
they get bored with the old style and want to try something new, like as we just discussed with Arctic Monkeys, the Hotel and Tranquility Base Casino.
I fucking love that, but definitely not their best album.
It's all piano based, isn't it?
Very little guitar.
So that's sort of changed up the whole style. And one of my favorite bands, Space. Igor despises this band. He thinks that
Well, yeah,
they're
most
the
of those
worst.
songs are bad.
But
One song is good though.
their guitarist died while mid making one of their albums, so the rest of their albums has barely any guitar lines, and it's all done on piano. It's all very synthetic, and
Yeah.
so sometimes bands end up changing over time. And they lose that original sound that they had, which made all their popularity come to them.
Like we're not huge fans of syntheticity, are we?
I
Even
don't
though
think it's bad. I think a lot of people use it to make a good sound.
Yeah,
But
like it can
also
definitely be used greatly. Like the new
music.
abnormal uses it a lot.
Yeah, music can sound so much differently without synthesizers. A lot of musicians have to find a way to play their songs without synthesizers. For example, Declan McKenna,
Mm.
he uses synthesizers in so many of his songs. But when he plays on stage, he has to play with fingerstyle instead, so he can like make the same
Recreate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
recreate it in a certain way.
Hmm.
So another
But mhm.
so another factor of like interpreting music is when you hear something, what makes it sound the way it sounds. For example, you have major and minor, and minor making some sort of like sad, depressing song, and major making some sort of empowering, loud song. But how would you interpret a love story in a song form, Igor?
I don't know. Hmm.
How
Well,
would you
okay.
develop that?
Firstly, I am not experienced in chords, and I personally hate playing them on any instrument because I suck at
Well,
playing most instruments.
chords aren't necessarily minor. It's like a flat. A flat note is what makes it
Yeah,
minor, and that would make the song necessarily all minor.
I don't know.
See, I'd assume it'd be the lyrics. The lyrics would, I love you, baby. You're so fucking hot. And, that's
Well,
that's
okay,
that's a
no.
love
Take
story
like
lyric.
Brainstorm. Could that ever be like a love song?
No, no, it can be. It's too fast.
Exactly.
It's
I
too
don't think
fast
it's the
paced. It's the
lyrics.
tone of
Yeah.
it. It's too, dun, 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 it's too insane. A
Yeah,
love song
exactly.
should be sort of like calming and soft.
Low.
It's
Yeah.
like a lullaby. But
Depends what the love song's about. If it's about like a breakup, no,
then
that's
it's
not
not
considered
then
a
it's not
love
a
song.
fucking love song, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's partially is, I guess. Or
No,
I'm being
because
stupid.
breakups is literally by definition the opposite of love.
Fuck's sake, I'm
It's
stupid. Yeah, you're
it's the
right.
resemblance of a love dying.
Yeah, taking some love song for example. I'm thinking of "Baby I'm Yours," the most generic love song I can think of.
That's yeah. I wouldn't. I was thinking more like some plain white tees. Hey there, Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah. Okay, that's a good example. Yeah, you're right.
Because that is
Hey there,
just
Delilah. Hmm.
really sort of hey there, Delilah was it, and then some sort of really slow guitar playing
I feel
um,
like
in chords, and
mhm.
it makes a really relaxing sort of like soft sound. I think a very, as I said, soft is what makes something very romantic sounding.
Yeah, I feel like it's every generic girl's dream to have a guy sing that to them.
It totally is. I have learned it.
Yeah.
I've learned it for the case.
Ooh, and Seaside. You've learned that,
I've
didn't
learned
you?
Seaside.
Hmm.
She didn't like that one as much.
Oh, really?
No, no.
Mm.
Another one I've tried to learn recently is Moon River, sung by
Oh, Moon
Audrey
River.
Hep.
You really like that one,
I
don't
love
you?
that song.
Hmm.
It's so lovely to hear Audrey Hepburn singing it. But
Yeah.
it's very soft and calming, and it's like a lullaby. And frankly, women love it when they're sort of like treated like a princess, and it's very I'll take care of you sort of song.
Joe, you should be a love guru.
I no, no. I tried that. I tried that at one point for one of our friends. It did not end out well.
Wait, tell me afterwards.
I tried out for you, I think, as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I was sure.
Oh,
I was sure,
yeah.
and it didn't work. I went through a really
uh,
cocky phase when I first got a girlfriend. I was like, I understand women completely.
oh my god, yeah. You did.
I just want to
You said
say,
that all the time.
I just want to say, I fucking love how sexy Audrey Hepburn's voice is.
Mm.
She has such a wonderful voice in that song. It's so sexy, and I think sexy voices is another way to sell music completely. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go back to the Arctic Monkeys again because we just love the Arctic Monkeys so much.
Yeah.
Alex Turner's
Go on.
voice, it's so low and
Number
brilliant.
one party
It's
anthem. Yeah,
so
it's like.
he sings
Mhm.
in number one party anthem, which is my favorite Arctic Monkeys song. It's sung so some sort of like
Low,
low and
slow,
slowly,
and
and
it's
it's just
just.
so it's so fucking sexy.
It's like a slow dance, and that's what it's meant to be. I'm pretty sure. It's just like.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
it sort of tells a story.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like he's a brilliant storyteller in songs, but not in real life, and not just like in usual conversations, as the Ghost Cookie story goes. But in um, in a lot of his songs, like what's it called, Cornerstone, he is brilliant at telling a story about, and you can easily figure it out as well. It's not too subtle, but it's also subtle about how his girlfriend dies, and he's waiting, like he's like looking for someone who could like be somewhat like her. And at the very end of the song, he finds her sister sitting somewhere, and he basically comes up to her. Do you want to be like my ex-girlfriend to like replace her? And then she
What?
says, "Sure." While he was looking for everyone, and everyone was saying no. It's
What the
cute,
what
and
the
it's like really
fuck?
slow and everything.
That doesn't
It's
sound. That
it's
sounds
weird,
like
but
some
like
sort
he
of
makes it
fucking
good.
game theory video.
No, genuinely,
The
that
sister
he's
dies and he
clearly.
dates the boyfriend. Whoa.
It's fucking great. Just take a listen. Or
Fine. Wait.
yeah,
What was it called again? Sorry. I'll make. I'll take a fucking
Cornerstone on a Humbug.
Oh fuck! I'm not listening to Humbug.
Really?
No.
Okay, a lot of like
Reminds me
Arctic
of
Monkeys
Christmas Carol too
fans.
much.
Humbug reminds you of Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
How? When you take like Pretty Visitors, where he
No, no,
sings
no, no.
about
It's fine. No,
snake pits
you
on the
clearly
wall.
didn't get my fucking shitty joke there.
I'm sorry, I didn't get your shitty joke.
You clearly don't know English literature. I'm upset about this now.
Oh, fuck, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Christmas Carol. I remember when you had to write that thing about Jake Paul.
Oh yeah. um, okay, I got to tell this fucking story now.
Yeah, go on.
We'll upload a video of me reading this, but for I was when I was doing English literature GCSE, we did um, I did Christmas Carol. So then I thought, because Jake Paul was trendy during this time, I thought I'm gonna write this about the Paul brothers and swap out Scrooge for Jake Paul and make it about being a social media content creator. And it's so fucking shit. It's like I literally made it so that Bob Marley's the ghost and he puffs weed onto Jake Paul's face so hard that he hallucinates being a good person. It's
Wow, a masterpiece.
it was I won first prize for that. You know,
Yeah,
it was shocking how well I wrote that. I did good, man.
you sure did. What are we
So,
talking about?
well,
Love songs.
love songs, yeah.
Like, you say it's the singing that does it?
I say it's the I think I said a lot of things. I say
Yeah,
I talk a lot of shit, Igor.
you do.
Um,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. But
that that really hurt.
right,
Really
didn't
hit
mean to,
really hit me
baby.
where it hurt. Um,
Um,
so I said that overall music taste, no, not music music love songs. If you have like a very soft, soothing sound and a very, calming voice, that's what you want. You know, uh,
think of something that contradicts that.
go
I
on.
don't know any love songs that are like kind of go against that. So you might be right.
Exactly. It's hard to think of something that contradicts me.
Yeah, of course.
So
Never happened
I'm
before.
always right, Igor.
Always, of course, yeah.
Always fucking right.
Hmm.
Um, although see that could be a subjective. It's not objective, is it?
Yeah,
The fact that I'm
it's
always right.
subjective.
It's a subjective thing.
Oh, that no, I thought you were gonna still talking about
What
love songs.
there is a certain culture that was going around or is going around with it's a common thing seen in elitists, isn't it?
Hmm.
And a culture telling people that their music taste is bad. So
It's music is subjective and objective,
see if I
in a
wasn't
way.
so music can be subjective, but music's mainly objective because there are so many music is mainly subjective, but it can be objective is what I meant to say there because
That's yeah.
you get so many like terribly made Instagram SoundCloud rappers going online.
Okay, no, I
Check
wasn't thinking that, but
check
like,
out my
what if
stuff,
you
it's pretty
literally
good.
have like scratching your nails across like a chalkboard? That's not music. That's objectively bad. If it was
Or you've also
attempted
like
to be
having like a
music.
really like okay that's offbeat. That's really shit offbeat tempo. You know,
Mm.
imagine me going.
What's the point we're trying to make here, Joe?
I'm just saying
Yeah,
that
of course
sounds
that's
shit,
bad.
doesn't it? That sounds really fucking
Yeah,
terrible.
exactly.
Mainly because
I thought that was a
I'm
bit obvious,
clapping into a
actually.
USB mic, you know. So, frankly, having you got to have an understanding of music to actually make music. Like, a lot of people, you know, post on Instagram. Hey, listen to this. I just worked on this, and I hear it and I go, God, why did you try? Um,
Yeah.
I think you know you've obviously tried to do something. I commend them for that because whenever I try to write songs, I think that sounds too bad and I get too self conscious and I just scrap it, you know,
Yeah.
and I don't
Hmm.
ever work on it again. But frankly, I think that's like a good balance that I have because when someone else, you know, when someone else writes music, I hear it and I go, is this is this really? Do you think that's good? Because it's just you know synthetic made up noises and you know.
I don't. I don't actually write music a lot. I just write riffs all the fucking time. I write constant. I've got like two more riffs to show you, actually, Joe.
Oh, neat. I'll
But
listen. I'll hear them later, baby.
you know, I fucking love riffs in songs.
Yeah.
You know, like I still. Oh my god, I still think the greatest riff of all time. I fucking love this riff, and you know this, Joe. It's the
Oh yeah, yeah,
modern
yeah.
men and old fashioned men and modern girls. That was it.
Yeah.
A Strokes riff, so good. Oh my god. Sadly, it's only played twice in the song,
I
but
normally find
it's.
that the Strokes are really riff based, and they have
Oh yeah,
bass lines are just like the same note played over again. Then like in Reptilia it goes and then the guitar's doing doing something insane compared to the
yeah,
bassist.
exactly. The guitarist is amazing. Like,
Yeah,
take Whatever Happened. That is a brilliant riff
yeah,
as well.
yeah. That's a
Mm,
good riff.
fucking forgot how it went, but I just remember I loved it.
Um. So yeah, I mean, frankly, yeah, having beat makes a song, you know, objectively good. I think, but also there's so back to the subjective, you know, hating culture.
Everyone's done it.
Whenever I talk, everyone does it. But whenever I talk about my music taste, I'm into rock and you know pop rock stuff like that. And there's the massive rap culture going around that we talked about this last episode and how you know rap's a big thing now. I don't really like rap, but I mean I do occasionally go around saying that's shit, that's terrible, that's just you know offbeat rapping, it's awful. But I don't really. I always you know say yeah, rapping can be good. Rapping is good. Like we talked about Eminem. Eminem does good rapping.
Yeah.
He has good beats, but there's a lot. There's a massive culture which is like hearing some sort of random ghetto rap and then going, "Wow, this is so cool. This," and then it's not. And
Yeah, I know.
but there's also so I whenever I play my music when I'm talking to my friends that isn't you,
Okay.
my more normie music friend, they go that's awful. That's just old
Mm.
music. And I go, this was made like 10 years ago. How's that old?
To most people, that's considered old. Like, I remember showing it to some people, and they're like, "This is old." But
Yeah.
that was again once I was back when I was listening to Oasis and Beatles.
Well, people think rock and roll's old, or just rock is old. People think
It
that's
is,
old.
to be honest. Like,
Well,
a lot of
rock
this shit was released back when we were like
in the
what, six or something.
yeah, well precisely.
That goes to nostalgia, actually. Like a lot of the music you like comes from your childhood.
Yeah. So when I was younger, in the car journeys, I would listen to Space and
New
the New
Radicals.
Radicals, and now I love Space and the New Radicals too
But
much.
um, you don't like
Strangely,
the yeah.
I
Go on.
don't like the album that I listened to the most when I was young. I think it's terrible. I think it's their
It's the
worst
worst one,
album.
didn't you say? Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because it's just nonsense.
Well, oh, come on. Space is mainly
One of their
nonsense. What are
lyrics
you on
is,
about?
"I'm the love child of the Queen. My blood is blue. It is not green.
Gravity is an enemy. The enemy is
The enemy
gravity.
is gravity." I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of love I feel in my heart for space. A lot of love.
You went to one of their gigs, didn't you?
I did. I went to one of their
Recently.
gigs all the way in Wallingford.
Mm.
We're not Wallingford. What am I talking about? No, yeah, I think it was in Wallingford. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a nice little gig, man. So I
You
mean,
know, different
you
bands have lit. Oh yeah.
you have Russian heritage, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Any traditional Russian music that you used to listen to when younger?
Not traditional. No, I
Yeah.
didn't listen to much music until a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh, cause
Like all of a sudden, I got Spotify, and I'm just like, I got interested in
music god.
Queen. Yeah, it was Queen
Queen.
first. I fucking loved Queen,
Yeah.
and Julian hated it, and he constantly like trash talked
Yeah.
Queen
We have a
because
friend
he thought it
who
was, yeah.
hates the Queen so much.
Hmm.
I was talking to him one time, and he said, "I brought this album for my dad. It was Dad's picks of music, and it was just filled with Queen, Beatles, and stuff like that." And he goes, "My dad didn't like this. My dad likes Oasis and Blur and Britpop. He likes Suede and Pulp." And I go, "Wow, that's really interesting." But he hates Queen because he just sort of hates glam rock and like their sound,
Yeah.
and he thinks it's so generic and uninspired.
It's the thing is, it's the least generic music out there, in my
Well,
opinion. It is so
I think
non-generic.
his problem is that after Queen were a thing in the 80s, glam rock was massive, like Twisted
Hmm.
Sister, Motley Crue, all with their basic ass songs, just yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we fucking love music, fucking
yeah.
sort of rock and
That's literally
roll.
Tenacious D, Joe.
Yeah. You cannot kill the metal.
Hmm.
um, but yeah, that was a massive thing, and it's such basic like music. Most of the
Now,
bands that
yeah,
did glam rock aren't known for their actual music, but are known for the stupid shit they did.
that's true.
Like for example, Motley Crue, they did one time there was a bet between the band members to see who could go on to not have a shower for the longest.
Yeah.
They didn't shower for about half a year.
That was one of them, didn't he? Yeah, he lasted for half a year. It was disgusting.
It's fucking gross. But they're known
Yeah,
for
and
that. They're known for that bullshit.
exactly.
That's how they.
Which is a shame. But yeah. I do you wanna do you have like a history of like what music you listen to throughout like your time exploring music? Like
I
this started
do.
with Queen for me.
When I
Then it
was
went
younger,
to go on.
it started off listening to what my parents listened to. I liked it. It was good. It was just music. I used to sing along to it and thinking I was cool. I do drama, and I went to something called Stagecoach, which is a thing in England where you get taught how to do drama. And that was something I enjoyed a fair amount, but I had a massive musical buff phase. Like I used to know every single song from Cats. I used to every single song from Into the Woods. Uh, I used to love so.
Jesus.
I had an addiction to musical songs. I used to sing them all the time. It was quite sad.
I don't really like music songs, and I'm gonna say it for a lot of one of the reasons is actually like those people that like constantly sing musical songs.
Which
Like I
which
know
is
a
me,
couple of
by the
people that
way.
like that.
Whenever
Um,
I'm just sitting by myself, I'm just singing fucking Jesus Christ Superstar, and you
oh,
fucking.
they're not by themselves. The people that I know, they sing it all the time, every day, like twenty four
What do they
seven,
sing? Do they sing like Hamilton and some shit like that? Because
everything, but mainly fucking The Greatest Showman.
oh god, they
I
are the
remember like
worst people. Ah,
months of them singing um the fucking
yeah.
showman and constantly dancing and doing their little like oh,
I
it's
was
horrible.
I was at my drama troupe and it was Christmas time, and everyone started singing the Nativity songs from the Nativity. And do you know how much I hate the Nativity franchise?
I don't.
I hate it so
Go on.
fucking much.
Really?
It's the worst. I really hate how childish it is, and how they've got like a bunch of child
Mm,
singers. It ruins it for me.
yeah. You take your things
I
seriously.
take I take
You're
it
like
so
grown men.
seriously. And then of course the worst part is that they ended up like losing all the child actors that they had in the first one. So then they just ended up hiring a bunch of like budget child actors. So they're all their ages are really like confusing because in the first one they're like, I don't know, 10 to 11, and then in the next one, they're like, there's like one 15-year-old just fucking singing in the corner. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
If you want to have a wacky kids musical filled with kids, you can do that. Why are you looking for actual talent? It's just wacky.
I know what you mean.
But
So
no, I fucking hated it. But so I went through my musical phase, and then of course I went to during more time in primary school. Taylor Swift started becoming trendy,
yeah,
and
you loved her, didn't you?
and I liked music all the time. I talked about how much I love musicals, and everyone went, "That sucks. You should listen to proper music." So I started listening to Jack FM
Oh
and Jack
yeah.
2, and I get so Jack 2 is like playing what you want. I used to listen to that. I just sit down in my room and listen to Jack FM on my like Lego speaker. Um,
Oh god, I used to love Jack too.
I
After
found
listening to Radio One for years. Uh huh.
years of Radio One it was, and then I one time said,
hmm
"Hey Dad, can we change the radio?" And I found Jack 2, and I listened
I
to it.
I think everyone went through this phase, just
It
Radio
was
One for years, and then you find Jack Two, and you're like, oh my god, this is
it's
so
just
much
so
better. But
fucking
that's
good.
because, but then you haven't like tried proper music. You just
Yeah,
listen to Jack Two, and
I
you
found
think it's amazing.
I found Taylor Swift there, and I
hmm
fell in love with her instantly. 22, fucking loved it. Shake It Off, fucking loved it. Blank Space, fucking loved it. Anything she made, I loved it. I have three of her albums.
Right, seriously.
Yep,
I didn't think you were that
I've
like
got, I've
hardcore.
got the 1985 one. I don't know the one that's called what's it called? It's called 19 something. I don't really give a shit anymore. I think it's called 1996, which is her birth date. Um, and then I've got Fearless,
Of course you do.
and I've got Red. And I used to listen to that on repeat all the fucking time. I used to love those albums. And then I also got recently I was watching a documentary and I thought I'll buy her new album. I haven't listened to it yet, by the way, but I just have it.
Okay, that's a bit useless.
Yeah,
I only
well,
buy albums if I really like them. By the way, that's my fucking ice cream van, truck, whatever you call them. Just drove past. Did you hear that?
I did.
It's
That's
fucking
fucking
annoying.
brilliant.
It always drives past. It's fucking loud as fuck. Anyway,
Damn, you
um,
need to get some ice cream.
no,
Get
no,
me, get me a Cornetto, baby.
nah. Listen, what was I gonna say now? I loved Taylor Swift for a bit.
Taylor Swift she was really good, and then she went through that whole like
hmm
edgy phase.
Oh yeah.
And that was awful. That was by far her worst album. Like I even her country stuff was better than that album. I don't even want to name it. It's that bad.
Don't want to give any recognition to
No,
it.
no, I
No.
don't. No,
Yeah.
nothing for it. It's shit. It's dog shit.
Do you want to continue your
Well, it became
music
Taylor
path?
Swift, and then of course I just stopped doing music for ages. I dropped out of theatre and stuff like that, and I really just didn't do it anymore. And then of course I just stopped listening to music, and I became a complete loser, nerd boy.
And then you found Pixies?
And then I found the Pixies, yeah.
hmm
And then I got a bass, and then I listened to more music.
I don't understand it. Why you would get a bass after listening to the Pixies? The
Because they're
most
so bass centric.
they are bass centric, but the bass is really boring in their songs.
Yeah, but the bass is it's a nice instrument. It's my favorite instrument by far. The reason why is I wanted to learn the guitar at one point and I couldn't play the guitar no matter how hard I tried because I was just terrible at it. So then when I heard the Pixies play the bass line, I thought, bass lines must be really fucking easy. So then I thought, I'll get a bass. I'll get a bit better with the bass, and then once I'm good enough, I'll learn the guitar. Um, so I've got the bass now.
And you doing the guitar yet?
No, no, I'm not doing the guitar because I found out that bass lines can get so much more fucking complex.
Yeah. It's
Like,
not just like do 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 do. Yeah.
yeah, some of the
Not like
bass
the
lines we've
fucking
had to
Pixies.
learn for the band that we have is
Yeah.
insane. I had to learn fucking what was it?
Is it the Beatles song?
The Beatles one. Yeah,
She's so heavy.
yeah, she's so heavy. and it's so long, and there's so like it changes up every single time, and you have to remember every single threat, every single note. It's really, and the timing of it. It's because it's a 3/4 timing. It's so much harder to do.
For me, it's not the remembering bit in songs that's the hardest. I don't know what's the hardest thing
Well,
in
I'm
learning
assuming with
a
drums,
song.
it becomes muscle memory. I mean, with me, it has become muscle memory for some songs.
Oh god, I'm so inexperienced in the drums. Like I know what I'm going like because I know more in the guitar on the guitar than I do on the drums. And I remember learning starting off on the guitar, and the feeling I'm getting from the drums right now is the same as I got from just starting off with the guitar. I've got so much to learn on the fucking drums. But it's really yeah, just muscle memory. Because like the first time you try playing a song, it's gonna be feeling so weird. Then you just have to keep on trying to do it, and it takes a while.
I would like
But
to learn the
yeah,
drums. I'm just not the drum type, though. I don't think.
mm. Some
Also,
drum lines are fucking fun to play though.
the drums isn't a sexy instrument. No one goes, "I want to fuck that drummer of the
Yeah.
band." You know, they go, "I want to fuck the guitarist. I want to fuck the singer." No one goes, "I want to fuck the
Mhm.
bassist or a drummer."
I get you.
So
Yeah.
that's why we have a podcast, by the way.
Like take Ringo Starr.
No one wanted to
Nah.
fuck him.
Exactly.
Oh god, no one wanted Ringo.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so another
what
thing that
happened after the Pixies?
well, I became the ultimate life form.
I mean, Joe, you had some stages after the Pixies, didn't you?
No, no.
Well, yeah, you do,
No,
because you're still going. You're going through your strokes and well, you've gone through your Arctic Monkeys phase, but you're going through your strokes
no,
phase.
because these aren't phases. I still appreciate their music.
Okay, yeah, I know.
I
I'm
don't
just calling them
cringe
phases,
in
but
fear of the fact I used to like the Pixies.
yeah, I mean,
Although,
I don't mean them as phases, but like they're your current favorite
well, yeah, my
bands.
current, I still do love the Pixies. In fact, I praise
Hmm.
them so much.
Yeah.
Uh, but we should move on to some more stuff coming into like subjective taste and stuff like that. Lyrics.
Okay.
What do you think about lyrics?
Lyrics.
Yes.
Um, I don't care about lyrics that much, to be
Really? Mm.
honest. As long as they're not like absolute garbage, where it's like the Killers' fucking song. What was it? I'm coming out of my
Jealousy
cage.
turning
That one.
seeps into this. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that
I
is.
fucking hate that song for
There's.
its
It's
lyrics.
a really good song, but it's just the lyrics are
I
strange.
yeah, the song is brilliant, but then the lyrics are just so bad that I just can't listen to it.
I
And
remember.
that says something because I liked Queen, and some people consider the fucking lyrics by Queen to be pretty bad, but then they also have some good songs like Somebody to Love. I like that song. And Killer Queen. Killer Queens is a good
Yeah.
song.
Did
But
we play at the Halloween party? Did we play what's it called? That song, the Killers song.
I wouldn't be surprised. You made that playlist.
Yeah, I think I did put it in there.
I remember when I introduced you to the Arctic Monkeys actually. It was
Yeah,
at the
it
party
was at
and
the
I just
party,
played
and then
like
I hear that song, and I go, "Whoa, what's that song? I heard it at a gig one time. What's that song?"
and I was like, it's for us an adolescent.
Yeah.
I'm instantly like, you're interested. I need to play as many Arctic Monkey songs as I can right now.
Yeah, you need
Um,
to impregnate me with your Arctic Monkey fever.
exactly. And then way later on, for my birthday party, remember that fucking airsoft one? Yeah, I played you and Julian a bunch of Arctic Monkeys and the
In the back of
Cooks
your
and a
car.
bit of the Strokes.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
showed you number one party anthem that time. I showed you
A
Bad
Bad
Habit by the
and I
Cooks.
fucking love Bad Habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
And
masterpiece.
I later on showed you the Strokes.
Yeah.
I
So,
fucking showed you all three bands, Joe.
all three of my
Mhm.
favorite bands. Although actually, when I listen to the Cooks is so different to the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys. They sort of come into a different sort of pop rock.
Mhm.
When the Strokes are just pure alternative, and then when listening to the Cooks, I found bands like Bombay Bicycle Club, Catfish and the
Yeah.
Bottlemen, and those are some of my favorite bands to listen to. Very indie, aesthetic, but I love them.
Anyway,
lot.
about lyrics. Back to lyrics.
Back to lyrics,
Um,
yeah. Lyrics are a way of storytelling in music. I normally find, or they
ones
can
that
just
tell stories are really good.
yeah. I think you get some really good storytells like What's a good one? I had one
Number one
before the
party anthem, if I'm
podcast.
being honest.
Yeah, that's number one party anthem is a really good one because about a guy wants to get with a girl. You know,
Yeah.
he's praying that this song comes on. You know, come on, come on, come on, and then
Number one party
yeah, here
anthem.
it is. I gotta bone this chick now. Sweet,
Because it's a
sweet.
slow song. It's like for a slow dance. It comes
Yeah, it's
on,
perfect
and
for
he can
that.
finally do it. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I personally have a dream that one time at a party, number one party comes on, and I'm not like joking. I really want that song to be the last song to be played at a party because it
We'll do
literally has the
that.
perfect lyrics
We'll
for it
have a
too.
party for to celebrate the end of
Mm.
GCSEs.
Yeah,
We'll have a party.
it's perfect for a slow dance, and I don't know, it's just fucking brilliant for like the ending where everyone's tired a little bit. It's just like it's about to end, and then one of the lyrics is actually you wonder if she's left or not, and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The
It's good.
leather jacket, collar pop, like what Dan Turner.
Antenna.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's.
The best storytelling song, though, in my opinion, is Cornerstone. It tells a
Oh
story perfectly.
yeah. You just told about that
I
fucking
know, but
cornerstone.
it's fucking
It's so
brilliant
good.
storytelling song.
Guy loses his wife. What, he tries to date sister. Wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
good.
no.
Just
It
trust me.
seems fucking insane.
You haven't
I
heard it though, Joe.
often Alex Turner is found telling stories through his thing. I had a really good one to talk about. One that one of our friends likes. What was it? Ah, shit, I forgot.
Bob Dylan.
Yes, that's right. It was Bob Dylan. Thank you for reminding me. I just heard that in the mic and I fucking smiled instantly.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan is a uh, musician and
Mm-hmm.
he just writes poetry for lyrics and then has some sort of chord based song. And to be honest, he's not terrible, but it's just so sort of very similar style music for everything. Bob Dylan normally, and he just writes poems and turns them into music. Like what was one of them? Ballad of a what Thin Man, isn't it?
Dim Man or Thin Man.
I think it's Thin Man.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference between any of it.
He's considered one of the best lyricists of all time, but
He is
I don't
considered one of the
notice
best artists
that.
of all time. But it's because he just takes poetry and turns it into music. I think it's a
Yeah.
very interesting idea to have some sort of profound lyric of his of poetry and turn it into and then add music to it.
You know, like putting a story into lyrics is fucking surprisingly hard because you have to have the structure, like
Yeah, you have to
verse,
have like
chorus,
rhyming.
verse, chorus,
Yeah.
kind of stuff like that. But like it's hard to change the chorus while telling a new story. Like you have to change the lyrics for the chorus if you want to fucking tell a new like tell a story, and like the structure of the song is weird. Because remember when we wrote our very first song, we attempted to,
We attempted to
uh,
write a song together.
and it was about like a guy cheating, and like the verse was going to be the guy's just like going around in the club looking for a girl. He's like tired
Yeah.
of his current girlfriend, and he finds a new chick, and he
Found a new
basically
he
gets
just
with her, and he
sucks up
cheats
to
on
her.
her.
You know, I haven't felt this way in ages. Like, oh, I want to get close to you, which was the lyric. It's awful.
Those were the lyrics, yeah.
And I love you so much. And then it goes to the chorus, which is supposedly him getting sweet action, and it is cheating. No.
Yeah.
Oh god, it wasn't that bad. It was so
It
good.
wasn't. And the fact that it worked, like the fucking chorus worked, is the chorus was the symbol for him like cheating on his current girlfriend, and the verse was him being bored, and it's a slow verse and it's building up, and then the chorus kind of like smashes it, and the fact that the song repeats anyway works with the lyrics, and I
Yeah.
was pretty happy with that because he
Although
does it again.
no one else was.
Yeah, he was a chronic cheater. That's why it worked. But
Yeah.
sadly,
Chronic
no one
cheater.
else, but no one else in the band liked it.
But us.
Yeah.
So
The funny thing is, why it was created was, we decided we're gonna meet up for band practice on a Saturday, and then I come over to Joe's house, and it was the wrong Saturday, and Joe's like, oh, "I wasn't expecting you," and all of a sudden we just started doing the band shit anyway.
yeah. Also,
So
I smelled like shit that day. My room was a mess.
your
I
room was a mess.
I stank. I needed to shower and everything. So I just sat there like smelling like shit, writing a song with Igor. I don't,
Yeah,
I don't know how you bared that.
I don't know.
We should do a reenactment of that. Just
Maybe.
draw massive stink lines coming off me.
Listen, you want to know my story of how I progressed through music?
Yeah, go on. You tell us, baby. You tell us.
Well, I started off with not liking anything. I was I like trash, absolute fucking trash. I remember liking. Oh fuck! I don't want to even remember what I liked. It was
Were you
just like it was
scum?
like I just had like a fucking watch later list of terrible music. Oh, it was
Oh,
pathetic.
I want to see this.
No, it's all gone. I've
Oh,
wiped it from
what?
existence.
You
No.
you fucking scumbag.
Yeah, and then I got Spotify. This changed my life. Okay, I
Spotify changed my life.
genuinely Spotify changed my life. Hashtag not
That's a
sponsored.
clickbait title. Can we have that?
I we could, yeah.
That's good. That's
Um,
good. We'll put that in the
it genuinely
thumbnail.
did. It basically showed me so many different songs. I basically just checked. I was like, I suddenly got into Queen. I just took a listen to them, and I fell in love. Like I listened to so many of their songs until I kind of got bored of them, and I got into Oasis. I loved Oasis for a long time. I thought they were the best band, and then I got bored of them. Then I was just kind of sticking with those songs. I was kind of getting bored of music for a little bit until I was buying we were gonna get to going to a new house, and we were gonna get a new house and like move houses. And one of the show houses for it, like the example house for it, had a bunch of furniture inside it, and one of the like rooms had loads of Arctic Monkeys albums all over the walls.
Oh yeah, yeah. You told me
Uh
this.
huh. Yeah, and I was just like, huh, I've heard of the Arctic Monkeys. I've never really checked them out. And
Yeah, it's really
I
strange
checked them
that
out.
I've before you told me about the Arctic Monkeys, I've heard of the Arctic Monkeys.
Exactly.
Who the
Everyone's
fuck
heard of
are
them.
who the fuck are the
Ironically,
Arctic
who the fuck are
Monkeys?
the Arctic Monkeys? Yeah. Ironically, but
It's unironically that no one knows. Everyone's
mhm,
heard of them. I like this is the Arctic Monkeys, but then who the fuck are they? I don't know who they are.
yeah, exactly.
A lot of
Actually, no.
people.
I had one band before the Arctic Monkeys. That was the Pixies. I watched Fight Club, best movie of all time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the ending had a brilliant utilization of
yeah.
"Where Is My Mind,"
We say this every
and
single fucking episode.
I
We said
know.
it the first
Oh,
episode. We said it for the beta one, and we said it. We
the
sang it
zeroth,
for
yeah.
this one now.
And I was like, I didn't notice it the first time. I was just like kind of bored, and then I rewatched the ending of Fight Club, just the ending, like a YouTube clip of like the very end, because I loved it so much. And I'm like, that song's fucking good. And I sort of like started searching for it until I found that it's "Where Is My Mind," and that's what got me into alt rock. Like the Pixies got me into alt rock. I found "Hey, Where Is My Mind," and I remember like when we all agreed that the Pixies were good. That's when we formed our band. We
Yeah,
went to
we were
Mission
sitting
Burrito.
in
We sat down.
we were
Yeah.
sitting in this like deli burrito place,
Yeah, yeah,
which
and
I
we just
took
like
us
sat
to.
down at the like bar kind of thing, and I
Sat
like
down at the
turned
bar
to my
thing,
left,
and then they
and
go,
I
"Hey, I found this song called the Pixies by the Pixies,"
uh,
and I go, "Oh, you guys know the Pixies?" And then I go, "Yeah, I know every single Pixies song. You test
and I
me
was
on it.
just like, what the fuck, yeah,
I
because I
had
thought I was like the guy that knew most about the Pixies.
no one knows
Mhm.
more about the Pixies than me. I live for Kim
Mhm.
Deal.
Exactly,
She looks like a
and
quirky girl, and I don't mind that.
it was me, Archie, Julian, and you, and we just all was just that was the day when we basically started the band. You just suggested, hey, we should start a band, and like a couple months later, we did.
Yeah, we did, and
Hmm.
we've gotten nowhere.
Well, anyway, that's what got me into alt rock. Then I found the Arctic Monkeys. Still my favorite fucking band to this day.
Mm.
Slowly grinding away. Like I'm slowly kind of getting bored of them. Not entirely though. I don't think I ever will be entirely bored of them, but it's kind of getting to me.
Yeah. So what do you think
And
about
yeah,
um, music in movies?
music and movies.
Yeah, because I
Well,
know a lot about music.
Fight Club. Going
I
back to
know
Fight
a lot
Club.
about music and movies. I
Yeah.
think some of the greatest soundtracks have come out of movies. For example, what was that zombie film? What is it like? Fuck, I forgot what it was called. But basically, it had this fucking great soundtrack, which was, da-na-na-na-na, and then it's so
It's
fucking.
fucking Where Is My Mind?
It's not Where's My Mind. What's the soundtrack? It's like something like 30 Days Infected or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's so overused.
Oh, Star Wars music.
Oh yeah, the Star
Oh
Wars.
my god.
That's iconic.
That is so good. Da da ma da da
Yeah, yeah.
da 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 da. Oh my
Yeah.
god, so good.
Fucking
That is
classic,
another
man.
iconic one.
That's iconic, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
some music would just not come out without those movies, and it's such a shame. Or like so much music would not get famous. Like Where's My Mind would not have been famous without Fight Club,
Mm,
sadly.
exactly.
And I wouldn't have found the Pixies, and that would be fucking devastating.
28 Days Later is what the zombie film was called.
Okay.
And it's got a really
Yeah.
it's like very slow, and then it builds up to a and it's so fucking brilliantly used to like convey like the drama of the scene and the zombies coming to kill them. It's really really like, and the scene is so impactful. I think music enhances media so much.
Yeah. Like Jaws. You know?
Jaws, yeah.
Doo-doo,
That film would not be
doo-doo,
scary without that soundtrack.
doo-doo, doo-doo.
And
Yeah, exactly. It's
a
perfect.
lot of
It's
horror
so
films
well
sort of
utilized.
rely on the soundtrack for the like staccato violin. It's so overused in horror films nowadays. It's not scary anymore. But my god, it's so commonly horrifying. I
Yeah.
I'm honestly terrified sometimes by a violin. Just in general, violins scare me.
Well, um, you know, a famous utilization of music in like what was it? The Lambs, or whatever that song, that movie was called. The
Silence
one
the
with the
Lambs,
cannibal.
yes, my favorite film.
Yeah, the Lambs.
Silence of
What's
the
it called?
Lambs, yeah.
Yes. You know how they play the completely unexpected music while.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think another way that film music is used is to subvert things. Like there was a Doctor Who episode, and in it has Mr. Sandman.
Bring me your dreams, bum
Yeah,
bum bum bum. Make him the
the
cutest
cutest
that I've ever seen.
We need to fucking harmonize, bro.
Yeah, give him two lips like roses and
But
clovers. Bum
they
bum
use
bum bum.
that, and
And
it's
yeah,
so fucking scary because it's just like it's playing while these fucking monsters are trying to get them, and all you hear is Mr. Sandman, and it's just really, it's really quite sort of confusing because you think, wow, this is a nice song. I like this song. It's nice. It's really calming and soft and soothing. But then you just hear that, and you think this isn't right. This is fucked, bro.
So, Joe, you do film studies, don't you?
I
Do,
do.
do they teach you anything about this stuff?
I'm not necessarily taught about music in film. That's
Oh,
something that I
really?
look into myself.
I remember doing music all the way back in like year 3 or 4. They taught us like, oh, Jaws. They used like this music, like
This
uh,
this 12A film. Yes, you should watch this.
yeah.
That's shocking. They suggested that.
Well, everyone knows fucking Jaws. Come on.
My films teacher wasn't even allowed to suggest me something like Scarface because it's a 15 and they're legally not allowed to say you can watch an 18 or 15 film if you're under the age.
15.
Yeah. So
So wait.
they're
Okay.
like, no, you can't watch it. No, sorry, we
Wow.
can't tell you to watch it.
Well,
They have to get
I think-
permission.
Well, they talked about Jaws because that was so iconic, and I think they showed us like the clip, like
Yeah. It's
okay,
scary,
everyone
though.
knows it. Like they didn't show us like the actual like the guy getting ripped in half, but
So I suppose what we're talking about now sort of conveys emotion in films again. How does music convey emotion? And
it's like the
so-
build up, and like
yeah.
it's like the speeding up. They use rhythm to do the emotion of fucking something coming towards you.
It's fucking freaky as.
And
I mean,
like
yeah, go on, continue, sorry.
the fucking Darth Maul battle. What
Yeah.
emotion
And then doing
is
it.
that?
Fucking Britman.
Yeah, what emotion's that?
That's like very tense, the choir sort of conveys like it's a very serious biblical sort of vibe as well. Because I think Darth Maul is like a massive representation of a devil, isn't he?
Oh yeah, of course. I never actually thought about that. Even
Yeah.
in the Clone Wars, because then he gets those like little robotic legs. That's even more
Yeah.
close to like those fucking goat-legged
Yeah, goat-legged
demons, or yeah,
demons. Yeah.
demons.
So it's very interesting. Another sort of thing I hear about music is national anthems.
Yeah, because if they're portraying emotion, like
How I
how
was,
does like a country just fucking decide? Yeah, that
how,
fucking portrays our country.
how does a film not a film, how does a song get a status of national anthem, and who
Mm.
wrote the national anthem as well? I think about it and I go, what this? It's such like a weird thing to think about because I just know it exists. It sort of like
Yeah.
comes into so originally all songs would be the same, like and they would just be like a way for like bards to tell stories. They're just some sort of like hence why Christmas carols are all the same.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, let me think. Yeah, in a way, yeah.
they're all so similar sounding.
Well, that's well. Would you want them to sound all different? Because they all get the Christmas feel then. If they
Well,
all
no,
sound the same
I
kind
like
of.
Christmas carols. I love Christmas carols feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but they all sound the same because they're just stories told by bards. Imagine you're in like the I don't know the 18th century and some shit like that, and then some sort of bard comes up to you and goes, "Frosty the Snowman," and
Is that the actual fucking reason?
yeah, they just
When did snowmans exist? Actually, did they make snowmans in
no,
the Middle Ages?
I have no fucking clue.
I need to search this out. When were
When were snowmen invented?
snowmen invented? Let's see. World's largest snowman. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, I don't think Google's gonna tell you.
When did people start making snowmen? In the book, he says it was 13 that fucking hell 1380s.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, the building of snowmen certainly began long before the 14th century.
Really? So there would have been
Mhm.
bards singing about Frosty the Snowman.
Of course.
A magical hat turned him into a man.
Yeah, there's like ancient
Yeah,
photos of fucking
that's
snowmen
insane.
here as well. That's cool.
That's so weird. We've gone off subject massively.
Mm-hmm.
Snowman from music to snowman is fucking insane.
I had to know about fucking.
You
when
had
was
to know.
snowman made.
If I didn't know
Yeah.
about snowmen, I would probably die.
Yeah.
So
Joe.
that's where like music and carols
Mhm.
came from, more or less.
How long have we been going? Have we been going, Joe?
Oof, I'd say about hour and 5 minutes.
Okay.
About time to wrap it up, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, okay. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Talkover podcast.
Mhm.
Yeah. Frank, if you've got any interesting music stories, if you are watching, we would love you to comment.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, tell us
Mhm.
about your music taste. We'll happily shit on it for next episode. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.